and good morning, and a good afternoon, and a good evening to you, the good and people of the tube. Hope you're well today, hope you're feeling grand, and all's well in your world. I'm feeling rather amazingly hyper, as I have this guitar to show you today, which I love. Cannot express that word enough. This is my newly acquired Teisco Del Rey guitar. It's from somewhere between like 1963 1964, give or take. It's got more in common with, I found a 63, and it's got more in common with a 63, so I'm inclined to say it's a 63, but not knowing the serial number or anything like that, we'll never know. So yeah, where did this thing come from? This came from Cash Converters, which is like a local second-hand shop, which I always look in because they have guitars in the window. And me and Joe were out one night just driving around, and we drove past there, and I was like, I think I've seen a Teisco in that window. So we drove back round, and there it was, hung on the wall. And I was like, right, I'm getting that. The price was crazy, and I was like, right, I'm getting that. So the next morning, first thing, went down there, bought it, and it was just awesome from the get-go. I had to do a lot to it. I had to clean it up. I had to get the the strings that were on it were like gauge 12 acoustic strings, and they were yanking on the neck something rotten, and the action was like that high. And it just played terribly with those on it. So I ripped them off, got rid of those. They were just horrific. I don't know why you'd put gauge 12s on something this tiny. It just is not going to hack it very well. And I bought some gauge 9s and put some 9s on it. And with 9s, it just plays amazingly. It doesn't play the best it can play, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. But anyway, so what have we got? So we got 2 single coil pickups, individual volumes for each pickup. So you've got your neck pickup volume, and then you got your bridge pickup volume, master tone. Then you got your pickup selectors. Sorry, pickup selection. Well, I suppose it is in a way. But your pickup selectors here, these 2 little white switches. So if a back one's up, your bridge pickup's on. And if your front one's up, it's your neck pickup on. And both up is both pickups, both down is the guitar's off. It's got a 0 fret. It's got this really cool bar that goes over the strings, like a string like tree, retainer, if you will. Original 6 in a line machine heads. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Let me get closer. Which are okay. They're not the best, but I like them, so they're staying. I did contemplate changing them for some others I've got, but I was like, no, I like them, mate. They've been with the. I can imagine these have been with the guitar since it was made. I don't want to change them. They still work. They still hold tune. That's good enough. It's got the 2 pins in the headstock where the original Teisco Del Rey logo would have been, but sadly the logo's gone, which is really quite upsetting because the Teisco Del Rey logo is amazing, but sadly it's gone. You can still see the outline of where it was on the headstock, and I say the 2 pins that would, the 2 little rivets that would have held it in, but it's gone the way of a dodo. What else to say? It's got the truss rod adjustment here. You can see that. I mean, that's, yeah, and considering this guitar is from the 60s, that's well ahead of its time. Because you can adjust it without having to take a neck off. A lot of guitars back then with bolt-on necks, like Fender, you couldn't do that. So, the tremolo. The tremolo is immense. It's like a constantly floating tremolo, and I think the tremolo is absolutely amazing. Look at the simplicity of a bridge as well. Look at that. It's just a bar with grooves in it. But, yeah, and also, yeah, sorry, I'm getting really excited. I will show you how it sounds in a minute. But also, you have to restring it in here. Sorry, I'm looking at the screen. Why am I looking at the screen? I shouldn't be looking at the screen. But look, that's how you restring. You put them in there, and then you clamp that down, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore. It's really cool. Okay, so, without further ado. So yeah, I've got 2 single coil pickups. The tremolo arm, by the way, isn't original. The original tremolo arm would have been like a bar, but that's gone. So I've had to fashion like just a bog standard Strat tremolo arm onto it with just basically two nuts basically to hold it in place, and it does the job. So all is well. Is there anything else I forgot to mention? No. It's just really ridiculously clean though. It was grubby when I got it, but either way, it's clean now because I spent a lot of time cleaning it up and getting rid of some of the gunk and mess that was on it, and it's just in such great condition. Such good condition. Anyway, without enough jabbering, let me show you what it sounds like, because it sounds immense, and it's got that real kind of Jack White, early blues kind of vibe about it. So this is the bridge single coil, and it's got that real... God! Okay, so that's the bridge pickup. This is both together now. It gives you this awesome, almost kind of thing. It needs more gain. That's too much gain. But and neck pickup, everybody. giving me 2 levels of feedback there. There's a really high one and a really low one. Oh my god! Whew. Breathe, Dave. I got carried away. Totally carried away. That's fine. That's good. That's all good. That's what we want. Okay, so yeah. And you do that crazy, weird, like, shredder guitar thing with the tremolo arm, where you kind of make it kind of like the Steve Vai, Mark Tremonti thing, where they hit a note, and then you just like tap the tremolo arm and it wobbles and it gives you this weird kind of fluttery sound. What's not to love? I mean, seriously? Sweating. It's all good. I don't care. It's all good. Let's play something else. It was in tune when I bought it. Okay. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I'm even going with this thing, but I like it. I don't, it's all good. I can see the camera getting peeked out a few times, so I do apologise for any crackles. Or any peaks, should I say. But yeah. I literally don't know what to say about this guitar other than the fact that this is just like one of the most coolest things ever. It's quite difficult to play at this point in time because the frets are near enough gone. They're so flat. They are so flat and they are so worn out that you get a lot of dead kind of... Where is it? A lot of kind of fret buzz and a lot of fret rattle. And the action's not low either, so you can just tell, and you get a lot of choke outs when you bend. So it's difficult to play because of that, but I am going to get it refretted as soon as I can afford to get it refretted. And it's coming out live. There's no way I cannot play this guitar live. There is just no way. It's just ridiculously it's too cool. And the tremolo is just gorgeous. It just feels amazing. It's just out of this world. This guitar is just unreal. And it's like, this is like the cheap Woolworths Top 20 guitars back in the 60s. They were called the Woolworths Top 20. And this is kind of like what you hear everybody started on. Like, I've heard stories of Dave Murray, Adrian Smith, Pete Green, Eric Clapton. All these guys started off with these kind of, Mark Knopfler started off with a Hofner, Super Solid, I think it was. And if they're not too dissimilar to this, because obviously, in England, around that time, we couldn't get our hands on Fender and Gibson because there was an embargo on them. Actually, I think in '63 it got lifted, but even then though, it's like, a Stratocaster was like £175, and a Les Paul was around a little bit more than that. And that's people were earning like £15 a month. So it's like, they're well out of reach. Stratocasters and Gibsons were out of reach. So this is what you got. You got like a Teisco Del Rey or a Hofner, because that they look kind of Stratish, and they sound kind of Stratish, and it's got the tremolo arm, and it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. It really is. It's just really sad that some of the cheap amps you got back in the day weren't that great. But saying that, the intro jam you heard me play slide on earlier on was this amp. My Teisco Audition, everybody. So I matched the Teisco guitar with the Teisco Audition amp, and they sounded brilliant. They've just got such a little cool... This setup is just a really cool little setup. And this amp cost me a tenner. This whole setup cost 60 quid. This guitar cost me 50 quid. This cost me a tenner. So it's like, you know, and it's Teisco Tone fun for days, I tell you. I did have the tone roll quite far down because the amp itself, when I had on everything on 10. The amp itself is quite bright, so I had the tone roll down to, I think it was just below 2, just to darken it up a bit because it's quite bright and shrill. But it's still awesome, so cool. It's such a really cool like oldie worldy slide tone. And I also had a Boss Spring, the 63 Fender reverb in the front as well for the reverb. Okay, but yeah. I don't know if there's anything more to say about this guitar, people, the Tube, other than I love it to bits, and if you find one, I would get one, because they're so cool. Yeah, they need a bit of work, and they need a bit of attention, some of them do, and they might not be in, you know, some of them might not be in the best condition, but the sound of these things is just unlike anything else. That's not going to happen. There's not enough fret, and that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, but yeah, seriously though, I love this guitar. It's just amazing. And the fact... Oh, it's all original as well. There is nothing changed on this guitar. There isn't any changed pots or capacitors. I did think from... When I first had it apart, I did think the capacitor on the tone control was changed. It looked a bit modern. And so I thought, oh, because Joe's got one that's like mint condition. That's like, you know, never been played. And it's just like everything's original on that. And... I went and had a look at that, and it's the same capacitor, so it's not been changed. So everything is original on this one. And my leads got caught under a patch lead. That's not good. So yeah, it's all original. Everything on this is original, apart from the strings. And the tremolo arm as well. But yeah, it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. There's no neck shim. It doesn't need a neck shim. The truss rod works. When I first got it, the neck was up-bowed, something rotten, with the big heavy strings on it. They were easy gauge 12 acoustic strings. It had a wound G, and they're easy gauge 12s, and it was unplayable. There was just no way you would be able to play it with those strings and that action. It was just absolutely... You need a ladder to climb the action to get the strings down. But as soon as I got those strings off, let the neck sit for about 5-10 minutes. Get the gauge, and I slackened the truss rod off all the way as well, just to let it kind of, you know, become normal. And then I tightened it back up to kind of like where it started to kind of like, you know, until the neck was flat with no strings on it. Put the gauge 9s on it, had a little bit of an up bow, adjusted the truss rod a smidgen, and it just went flat, went perfectly straight. Straight as the A1, everybody. The A1's not that straight. But anyway, and it's just amazing. Like I say, the only thing it needs doing now is a refret, because the old original frets, I've just had it. They've just absolutely had it. There's too many choke points, and there's too many dead frets, and semi... And you can hear that, like, compared to an actual note. It's... You know, it's borderline unusable, and that's kind of annoying, but... You know, that's the perils you have. But saying that, you know, it's the 50-something odd year old guitar, so you know, for it to be still playing and sounding the way it is now is something. Considering these guitars weren't really built to last, I wouldn't say. They were kind of they were just cheap kind of guitars. Like I say, War's top 20 guitars. But it's amazing, absolutely amazing. There is some fret wear, neck wear, sorry. There's plenty of fret wear, but there is some neck wear at the top here. There's two like dents in the fretboard where a guy's played it. It's been used, this guitar, but it's been looked after, and it'll And as long as it's in my hands, I will not let any harm come to it because it's too cool on a guitar. It's got the original sticker here as well, which I haven't seen one with a sticker here before, because they normally peel off. So, but you can't read anything on it. It's all gone. It was like a serial number and where it was made on there, and it's all gone. It's all gone. But yeah, everybody, I think I've rambled on enough. I'm a bit excited. I hope this video has demonstrated some of the sounds this thing's got. It's got more. It's just that I'm just getting too excited to kind of like, you know, I don't even know what I'm on about anymore, everybody. And it's really awesome neck on it as well. It's like a mahogany neck, and you know, a rosewood fingerboard. The body's not like, it's not proper wood. It's like chipboard. It's under the cavity. It's very in the cavity where the pickups are and stuff is very, very rough. I can't speak, everybody. I can't talk anymore. So I hope you enjoyed this video on this Teisco Del Rey. I want to say it's a 63, but we'll never know for sure. It's an early 60s, but I don't know exactly what year. But I love it. It's so cool. It's so cool. And it looks so cool as well. It's tiny. It's comfy. It's really, really thin. Very, very thin. But it's so comfy. And I love the fact that the strap button's under the top horn, so you have to have your strap kind of wrapped around. But that's really cool because your strap doesn't come off because you've got all the tension on it. It's really cool. I need to go lie down. I need to go and get something to eat and then lie down. I'm starving. But yeah, if you can find one of these things, I would recommend buying it as long as it's in good condition and it plays and it makes a noise. Because these pickups and these guitars are like nothing else. There are some bad ones. I have only played a handful of these Teisco guitars that are any good. Because some of them are absolute dogs. They really are. They are absolutely terrible. Some of them are just like not worth anything. They're not worth anything. But some of them are absolutely, they're just gems. They're absolutely, perfect in some ways. Has this happened again? Keep getting my lead caught. Anyway, I think I've rambled on enough. I hope you enjoyed this video, everybody. I hope I haven't bored you all to tears with my ramblings about this guitar, but it's super cool. I don't know what else to say. It's got this really cool metallic clang as well through the pickups because the pickups are then microphonic, so they just feed back immediately. But when you hit it, you can hear all the tremolo unit rattling. Oh, hang on a second. Let me turn the reverb off. I don't be able to hear. It's like clang. It's like that. It's so cool. I love it. I love everything about it. I love the microphonic pickups and everything like that. Makes me kind of want to do this. It's really hard to get the chords to sound right because the frets just not. They're just not cooperating. They're just like, there's nothing left in me. Release me. Anyway, I was peeking out the camera and as well. I'm sorry if there's loads of peeking on the camera today, but it's. I bet you can't tell I love this guitar. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, everybody. I really hope you enjoyed this video on the Teisco Del Rey. Somebody's grinding outside, so I do apologise for the noise. But yeah. I mean, look at it. Anyway, shut up, Dave. Shut up. Shut your mouth, boy. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Have a great morning, afternoon, and I'll see you on Wednesday for Q&A. Goodbye now. Have a great one. One more chord. Let's go net pickup. Enough.